blessing on it. Too real, this ain't metaphoric. We just put the I in iconic. Buzzing like I'm electronic. Yeah, I put a blessing on it. See me dripping in it 24/7 on it. I'm just being honest. Holy water dripping from my neck to my crep, so I'm two-stepping on it like.
And
we're rolling.
Action.
All right. This is how organized we are.
Do you want to dance?
Go.
Oh.
Word of the day. We'll make it up. We'll figure it out.
I got it. But when I do, we got to write it on there because we have to take a picture of it.
You gonna give us our like formal invitation, like, hey, welcome, blah blah.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Rambling Gypsy podcast. My name is Tiffany Foy, and today has been a fluctuation. I have got my summer Shandy. You guys met him, Scotty Galaxy.
Hello.
The guy.
Welcome.
The man with many names.
Right. many names.
Many
a couple of hats.
Maybe
few
one,
jobs.
two. You know.
Maybe a record or two. Musical record.
Let's talk about your draws.
Right.
You got the man with many draws.
I can't. Yeah.
Well, I do have to tell you, I was purging this past week, doing a little organization.
Purging?
Yeah. What you call it, like throwing shit away?
Oh, right.
Throwing things, getting rid of, purging.
Oh, I thought you were saying like Persian.
Like a cat?
Yeah, no. Like a person.
Oh, there's Persian
person.
Oh.
Yes.
Wait, what?
Oh, I'm just playing.
Okay.
Sorry, please
you're
continue.
Always playing. Okay, anyways, I was throwing shit away was what I was trying to say. And I got me these little drawer organizers. Say that 5 times. Drawer organizers. And I was organizing my chonies. And I did not realize how many pair of freaking Scotty Galaxy draws I've got in my drawers.
Well, there's been a couple of iterations throughout the years. But, as I said last week, it is an honor.
Yeah.
To occupy such space.
That my bum says Scotty Galaxy.
In terms of per capita, the varieties of panties or chonis.
Nice.
I have to say that, I feel good about that. Folks, we have a lot of those for sale, so hit me up, dude.
We're going to put a link on the bottom of our podcast, which if you didn't...
No, but that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It's amazing how when you organize things, because I just made a comment to Nick the other day, and I was like, you know what? It's that time. I don't know if it's kind of like, and I did tell her if I ever buy another pair of socks, you have permission to either choke me, hang me, shoot me, or whatever it is. Because it was just kind of, it was time. Okay. It was time to get my shit together, and so I was thinking I needed to. I need some new chonies, Right. Everybody likes a new fresh pair, whatever. See what's on the market today or whatever.
Right.
You know what?
A new springboard, if you will.
For real.
New adventure.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have a lot. All you need to do is clean out your drawers, and you would be surprised what you can find. But I actually have 4 pair.
How?
Of the Galaxy drawers.
Holy cow, man. We may have made 20 of those in total. 20 of them maybe have sold.
I feel like I should get a star or like, what is that when you're the number 1 fan club and it says, hey, you're doing good, and they move you up to the...
Yeah, you've always been that. Even, whenever I first, started whatever,
some t-shirts.
She said she was my number 1 fan. Yeah. She said that's what she said. She said to me. What she said to me was, "I will always be your number 1 fan."
You damn right. Still
so I appreciate that. Thank
cheers.
you. Yeah, cheers. My
stretch and hydrate with our water.
Straight vodka.
Yeah.
Right. These jokes don't come for free, people.
No.
They got to get summoned from somewhere.
So what have you been doing this week? Let's talk about our transition and what we got going on. You want to?
Well, life has been pretty good, really good actually.
Yeah.
And I've jumped on to help you guys out here at the Rambling Gypsy podcast. That's a hard G on there, folks. You got to get it right.
And it's got a nice swirl on the bottom, a little sass, a little attitude.
Right. Naturally, you have to.
It just comes naturally.
And they don't even teach kids cursive these days. They won't know about the sass of writing.
They don't write.
There can be some fucking emotion and some shit in writing.
Yeah. It would be nice.
Like,
some twirls
what's
on
up,
the
little
end.
what's up doesn't have the same as like hello.
No.
Like old JavaScript and shit or whatever.
Seriously.
I don't know. Java, that doesn't make sense.
When I signed my name, and I have no idea where this even came from, but I put a dot at the end.
Dot?
A period.
At the end of what?
My signature.
Huh.
I do not know why. I don't, and I got a lot of baggage. I got a lot of husbands, and not at the same time. Stop. Don't be fucking racist and judgmental or whatever. But
Is foy like a verb? Like Tiffany, foy. Boom. And then you usually end it?
And I just stop it right there with a
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So when the kids forge my signature, they all know that everybody's going to call if that little period is not on the end because they know it's just not real.
But
right. Yeah,
like,
they don't, you did not sign that.
That's actually pretty brilliant.
Period.
I think so. Yeah. Be like, just the subtleties, especially like when it comes to like the kids and whatnot, where you're like, hold up, teacher. Yeah. And you're like, well, you fucking said that we could do all this. Your kid was like not responsible. Let me see the signature. Yeah. It's missing the period. Garrison, come here.
Busted.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I think that's a really freaking brilliant idea.
Did you ever forge your parents' signature?
Yeah.
If you didn't, you're lying, and you can't lie on the podcast.
Oh man. Yeah.
And the word of the day is podcast.
Okay, I'd be in a world of shed. You know what I mean? But maybe, perhaps.
A time or two.
Only because I was just trying to practice my script.
Yeah. The
penmanship.
JavaScript. What?
Just trying to practice the swoops, and I was like, "Hey, Mom, does this kind of look like
swirls?" And
Miss Lanius wants to know if this kind of does look like that. Just gonna go to
yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, I feel like you probably forged one or two.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
3,
maybe 4.
I don't want to say that I'm a habitual forger, but I can't even remember the amount of times I have forged. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Well. And anyways, what we're going to start talking about right now is,
Listen.
Yeah. So,
government documents?
Yeah, we're good.
Get away from me.
Yeah.
What is the government?
Yeah. No, we're not.
Man.
We're not going there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about that.
Right. So, at any rate, what we were talking about. Yeah, so what I'm doing these days, since I came in, you asked if I could come help and do a little production with the podcast. So I'm throwing my hand in there a little bit and just helping, to let the pieces of the team do what they're strongest at. Well,
and
I appreciate that. You don't have to say that, but I appreciate it. But yes. But thank you for saying it. My therapist would be proud of me accepting that.
And even if you're not, it just makes you feel
Dominique, if you're watching, you fucking see that shit?
I mean, it's very true. Literally, it's so good. It's so good. But you have been listening. And I've said that for a long time. We talked about this even a year ago when this was coming kind of to fruition or whatever.
Right.
And it's good to know that you're in therapy. I've been in therapy since I came out of the vagina.
Right.
Yeah. The real thing. Yeah. Some it works. Some of you have to have 2 or 3. Some of you have 4. I mean, I got a couple, 2, 3, 4, like them signatures.
Right, it depends
I got a couple therapists. They're good. I just feel like I can't ever learn enough.
How many times have you disassociated? That depends on the amount of therapists you have. Like, I got like 4 or 5 personalities.
A few times, yeah.
But Dominique, that one was for you.
Yeah. You're a good one, Dom. You're good.
But no, I think that therapy's good. I like being on the team, and I don't know. It's fun to hang out with homies and do fun creative shit.
Your spirit and your aura and your personality is so good. Yeah, it's so good.
That's why you want to buy a pair of the Scotty Galaxy Onions.
Yeah,
we also have T-shirts.
Yeah.
That aura
so
was
good.
at one point.
So
it was
good.
at one point transferred from me and my lady galaxy onto the fabrics.
Why have I never called her Lady Galaxy? It is beyond me.
Me too.
Lens. And her name is already L.
Yeah, right.
It's the perfect
LG.
Holy pickles.
Anyways, honestly, that was perfect.
So
I had never called her that until right then, but knowing
name change in the phone is
knowing
happening.
your fondness of names and everything has a name.
Yes.
But yeah. I'm excited to see, where all this goes and all that stuff. And it's
so
it's
fun.
been fun getting into a rhythm and all that shit.
Yeah, and your skills are fabulous.
Yeah, and she lets me smoke weed, so I'm good. But
it keeps everything so entertaining.
If there's ever a job opening, all you weed smokers out there, keep that in mind. Like, you don't got to stress like, fuck, man,
no.
I can't apply anywhere.
No.
You can apply for Tiffany.
It's so good. It is so fun. And no, I'm all about it.
Right.
We have multiple businesses or whatever, and there's maybe you have a vice, maybe you don't, and if you don't, you're lying.
Miami
you
also
do.
had
It's
one.
in the closet. Get it out. Tell everybody you got one.
One time, Miami Vice was like the hottest fucking show.
I mean, there were some hot fucking people on that hot show.
Right.
I mean,
come on.
we talk about the engine
Don
and
Johnson,
the boat?
are you kidding me?
Yeah. And them white linen draws. It's so good.
I was gonna say I know what I'm going for Halloween, but I know what I'm going for tomorrow as.
Okay. Yeah. All right. This is gonna be good.
I mean, it would take some preparation, but I wish.
I'm good at those kind of things.
I don't even know what
you
got some
about.
Don Johnson gear?
Fuck yeah.
It probably was just like a
nice
pink shirt.
pair of linens.
And then,
nice V-neck.
Yeah, and it's either like gray or brown.
Collar.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty easy one to rock.
Yeah. Maybe a nice little anklet.
Right.
Little phalanges hanging out. Or what are those?
White wine spritzer. It's a little fucking ching chang.
Lime
plop,
slice
plop.
with a little umbrella.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta get the umbrella drink.
You do.
For sure. I don't know. At least I tried to.
Well, that's where I was going with this on the whole weed thing and the whole up for hire or rehire or whatever.
Right.
There's a lot of friends, acquaintances, or however you say that word,
right?
Whatever, and that it is. I have medication that I have to take from my therapist that, and my kids call it the snap your neck pills, and you can call it whatever you want, but and I have been ridiculed for taking meds because that is what it is. If it works for you, great.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. And I literally had a mental breakdown one time talking to my doctor because at this particular time, a significant other was like, you need to take your meds. And so I'm thinking, okay, do I? And then it was like, you're the reason, you're the way that you are because you're on these meds and you don't need these medications. So it's like it gets in your head and it fucks you up. And so I went into my doctor and I was like, so this is what this is what happened. And he said, well, first thing you need to do is go home and say, you do not have the right to tell me when I need to take my medication or if I need to take my medication, or you're not supposed to be on your medication or whatever. And so a situation came about, and that was my first reply was, you don't get to say that. I'm sorry, but you're not the one with the deal on the wall or whatever. And this took a long time. I went through many therapists, and we did a whole study, and it took years to figure out my chemical imbalance or whatever the case may be. And it fucking works. It is what it is. I don't need to tell anyone, or I can tell anyone. And so that being
your own
said,
prerogative, for sure.
We have friends that have weed works for them. They're not, and I am 100% all about it. And if that is what keeps you normal or whatever, what is normal? That's it. Is there such thing as normal?
There isn't.
There really isn't. But your norm.
Right.
There's functioning alcoholics. There's functioning potheads. There's functioning all the things. or there's people that don't function on any of it.
Right. Yeah.
But
for sure.
That being said, which was where I was going with this, is I have several people in my very tight circle that are the weed is definitely what keeps them
became their sanity kind of
absolutely
equalizer.
So we call that a safety meeting.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
That's
for
where
sure.
I'm going.
No doubt. Yeah.
Deal.
For sure.
So yeah, and so when I would be losing my shit at the resort or wherever it is, and I'm about to choke an innocent, not damn sure when an innocent bystander, I ain't just gonna walk up and just choke a mofo.
Nobody's innocent.
I mean, no. But it would definitely be like the whole. It was my light switch to change my attitude, and there's been times where I would look at the kids or the staff or the whoever it is and go, you know what, you need to go take a safety meeting.
Right.
Boop. And they'd walk down the street, walk to wherever, come back 10 minutes later, and it's like,
this is what I'll say as a coach. It's good to know your players. Be like, no,
seriously,
we need a 3-point right now. You go smoke some weed.
You need to take a lap. Which is my other thing. I know when I need to go take a lap and think about my choices or put myself in timeout.
Right. The thing with pretty much, I guess the main thing I will say from what you were saying is that people, you really need to, know that for their own health, it's also better that they mind their own business.
Amen.
But the honest to goodness fact of anything is you can only control you as an individual, and something that works for somebody may not work for somebody else.
That's exactly right.
And until you have an experience within those same parameters, then your judgment of that, positive or negative, is really just empty and invalid right there off the bat. Same goes for people judging people for smoking weed.
Right.
I think that people do different things for different reasons. I like smoking, the act of smoking. My one of my favorite people, she's passed away now, but was my nanny. She smoked cigarettes, and like the smell of a freshly lit cigarette was just this like badass fucking sensory memory that would take me back. And so, a side note too, I didn't realize it or understand it then, but when I did start smoking at like 17 or 18, it was kind of the beginning of really where, for sure, as the layers of life are, the stacking of depression, I started turning to different substances and stuff like that.
Right.
And things started compounding, for sure. But as I've now tried to remove these layers off of this lens to, I guess, undistort my view, so to speak, one of the final things that I've really kept around is weed. And I don't know, I think that one day, I'm a lover of weed, but maybe one day it might be something too that I have to let go. I think the ultimate goal, especially like when you're trying to figure yourself out, is to realize that everything, other than the essentials like being hydrated and eating nourishing and and doing aerobic activity and things like that, aside from that, we don't need other things to keep us going. And by doing that, we're at that point then just adding a layer that we either compound, and then it becomes like this hose thing to where I got the leak here, and then the leak comes over there, and then pop. I don't know. Life, I think, is unavoidably like that, though. And you can't stop all of the leaks. But I've thought that maybe one day, even before I take my ayahuasca trip, and before I meet the elders up there, and they say like, quit all the drugs, bro. Why'd you even take this? I'm like, I know that that's the key to me, like being 100% like happy
right.
Solid mentally and in balance and whatnot.
For me, it's hard to understand the difference between.
But I may not, and I'm accepting of that. I love the cat that I am right now.
I do
even
too.
though I'm a dog person.
I do too. Well, same.
Yeah.
Same. It's hard for me to understand the difference between prescription and non-prescription.
Right.
In that aspect, I get the
it's really just it's just a judgment,
shit,
and because there's the category,
the meth and the crack and
right.
the this, all that nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, and everybody's entitled to their own
mm-hmm.
opinion, weed is not and should not ever be in that category.
Right.
I don't understand that.
Right.
I can tell you at the resort, and you've been there a million times over, and I have watched and witnessed and seen. I could write a book, and just when you think you have figured it out, the next weekend rolls around and you're thinking, holy mm-hmm. shit, I never saw that one coming. And
right.
my God, every single weekend is a new clusterfuck.
Right, no doubt.
But never one time and my family owns the largest place on River Road. They've had mm-hmm. it for 51 years. Mm-hmm. Has a scuffle, a whatever you want to call these things that happened there, was caused by weed.
Right. No, I know, right?
You know who the happiest fucking people are at the river?
Right.
Are the ones that are sitting in there and they're like, hey, Gypsy, do you mind if I'm like, light that shit up and blow it in site number 7, go blow that in that one's face because he's about to piss me off.
Like
he's being an absolute
3 a.m.
dick. In fact,
yeah.
I can figure he'd be the first one I'm going to throw out. If you don't mind walking over there and
no doubt. Yeah.
And just calm his ass down, maybe that'll freaking work. But never once has there ever been an altercation of any kind caused by the marijuanas. Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah,
alcohol, stupidity. Good Lord, it's
more times than you can count, right? Yeah. You're right. You're like, I don't even know has the universe even have a fucking final count on that for sure. And it's an infinite number.
For nonsense
for sure.
But I mean, if you think about it, there's never ever been an altercation of any sort, or an argument, or a dispute, or a sass, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That was caused by. Did you smoke that whole joint? Did you take 2 gummies instead of 3? Did you ate the whole fucking pan of brownies, you dumbass?
Right.
Never once has that ever happened.
Right.
Never.
Well, I love what's going on now. Right.
You're so sweet and so happy.
Man, I got about
you're like little Care Bears bouncing around on your clouds.
We get like that 45-minute warning. We're like, fuck, dude, I've got 45 minutes to be awake. I got to get out of here. Stop somewhere and get some munchies and get home. And eat on the way so I can fucking be asleep by 45 minutes.
Before the snack runs out of that snack before I get to dinner.
Right, yeah. It's like that Russian doll thing.
I wonder
just
why that
pop,
is.
pop, 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 pop.
Why does weed make you hungry?
Perhaps a better...
Why does it make some people hungry and some people not?
That I don't really know. I consider myself a smart person, but I've never delved into, what the intricacies were of why does we do this? Sometimes I'm like, shit, dude. It's like the Bible. I'm like, whatever, dude.
Doritos,
It's just there. Why does the God of weed, get you high? I don't know. He just does. He fucking pops up. He's like, here you go. Here's a little stone for you.
You will be so happy.
Little flappy
welcome.
wings.
Yeah. I just want to know, why does it make you hungry?
Look, man.
Somebody's got to know. Come on, all you musicians, jump in here. Get in
here. I
here.
don't know. I'll say this too. That so I'm high right now. I'm talking. I'm laughing. Perhaps I'm exuding a lot of energy, and maybe the feeling of hungriness is just my body knowing that I burnt off this energy right now, cracking these motherfuckers up and shit. And then it's like, dog, you need to eat because you just worked your ass off, dude.
Appetite cracking that
you
joke.
can't smoke weed and laugh at the same time and then not be hungry.
Right?
You send me
So
you send me a non-fucking munchier,
you kind
and
of
I'll
think about
fucking
that.
show you they're a liar.
You think it's kind of like after a night out of partying and drinking, why are we all at fucking Whataburger at 2 a.m.?
Right. It ain't because of the fancy ketchup. Because I think they might have tweaked the recipe on
Randy
it.
Rogers, it's because of the ketchup.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my God, the story with, do you know the story with Wade, him texting him? Oh, it's hilarious. And Randy pulls up and he says something about, I need like 500 packs of ketchup or whatever it is. And he sends Wade this picture and it's literally, and the guy was like, I can't. And he was like, no, really, I'll pay for the ketchup. And so he sends
It's true. It kind of is true because I put it on like other burgers.
And this was before you could go to the local yokel and pick you up in the ketchup aisle. And you could get
prior to pre-bottling,
pre Whataburger condiments.
I mean, which I appreciate it, but also I don't know that the flavor hits. It does not hit the fucking same as the
not
little,
in 12 o'clock noon versus 12 o'clock in the morning.
Let's kill the world. Not happy for the ozone layer packages.
Yeah,
those are the best tasting ones.
Right.
And perhaps it's the regret that adds that extra.
You gotta tear the corner,
flavor.
and then you gotta lick the edge where you gotta properly
oh man,
properly give it a lick.
Man, my son is getting so frustrated because since I guess a couple years ago they sold to a business out of Chicago.
They did.
So it's no longer Texan owned.
Right.
And
we all lost our mind.
Knowing that news, my son's been on the lookout for everything, every sign that'd be like, see, this is what they're doing, man.
Yeah.
They's out-of-staters are changing our in-state shit.
Changing the recipe.
Well, last night it was the fucking ketchup. And he's like, God, because it like, the packets are a little more flimsy on their square box.
You cannot get the proper...
They've probably taken out a real fraction of the plastic that makes up that container. But it makes it hard for you.
Now it tears midway.
And he was so frustrated. He was like, see? You see?
12-year-old Chicago
is what happened.
Fucked up the ketchup.
They're fucking it up. But he didn't say that. He said messing it up. And I was like, I don't know.
That is
I said, River, you got to finesse it a little bit more. I understand, though, dude.
The frustration.
But, man, the world keeps turning, Yeah. At one point, the layers of the world looked differently, and then the wind blew and things shifted.
Yeah. It's like they say the...
ketchup's the same thing, man.
It's the onion peels, the peels of the onion, what's it called?
Right.
The
Peels of the Onion?
What the hell?
That sounds like an A&E series. Like, next week on Peels of the Onion, we'll go into the meat packing industry and find out what's going on.
We're going to Chicago to interview the Whataburger people and ask them.
And next week on Peels of the Onion, we'll be at a farmer's market in New Hampshire.
That's the most redneck version of Days of Our Lives. Next week on Peels of the Onion.
We'll be thrifting.
We'll be on layer number 3. You may cry on layer number 4. Once you slice and dice.
Very pungent episodes ahead, folks.
Yeah.
That reminded me of something. I had this joke with a friend of mine a while back when it was like, because I'm so fucking immature at times. But it was like saying the word sheet instead of shit. And I was like, man,
I gotta spin off on this one.
Like, the jokes kept flowing, and at one point we were like, man, this, my grandma has got this show called Talking Sheet on the AM Saturday mornings. And I was like, but that fucking, Gladys down the road, her rival, has got Sheet Talking on the other AM.
So, my daughter-in-law decided a couple years ago that her New Year's resolution was going to be to stop saying the word fuck.
Okay.
Well, that is my all-time favorite word, and I was thinking this is never going to work.
What was the alternate?
Fook.
Fook?
Yeah, with the ooh. Okay. Yeah. Yes. And so now, and now we all use it. What the fook?
Fook.
But then, when you have our pond the people that come from across the pond, you know, or bulbs and
Fuckers.
Hey,
come here, you fucker.
Yes, it's literally how they say it. Yeah.
Where is Robbie, that
the little
fucker?
pipe players and the whatever, that's what they say. The pointed shoe guys, they say what the fook.
Perhaps
and
that's
I'm like,
the word
they're
of the
not
day.
even trying to say the FOOK. That's how they really say it.
I tried to tell them, ain't nobody fooking around.
No.
It wasn't no fook.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I do this shit every day. It ain't no fook.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah. Oh my God.
Hey, if you can fook, you can cook.
Yeah. Can
you know? If you got time to lean, you got time to clean.
Yeah.
That's what one of my sous chefs back in the day.
And sheet.
Fook sheet.
If you can fook in the sheet.
Lean clean. Right. That's my friend. Fook sheet lean clean.
Woo! I just blew the fook out of my. And never mind. My cap.
Whatever happened to fook sheet lean clean? Those were the 4 steps to make it into heaven. Fook sheet lean queen.
Yeah.
At any rate, I don't want to cut the conversation off, but because you had some, what did you say, shituation, fucktopia, or fucktardia, fucktardius.
Sounds like my neighbor.
Right.
Who lives over there?
Fucktardius across the fence over
kind of
here.
Grouchy from time to time.
You won't ever let me play my bassy music.
No, yeah.
Man,
sometimes they're just rude.
Speaking of real quick, had a fucking cop come to my door.
I need all the deets.
Kids were in the living room. I got a fucking speaker, 10-inch, part of my PA system.
First of all,
outside.
He said, this is a portion, a part.
Yeah.
A part.
Well, I got it busting out this bass, man, and I get through like probably 5 or 6 songs. I'm getting blazed as fuck in the middle of the summer. My daughter, all of a sudden, like, she comes running out there and she's like, "Oh, Dad, somebody's knocking on the door," like, really frantically. And I'm like, "What?" And then I come in and my son's like, "It's the cops, Dad. There's a cop out there."
There's
and I'm
lights.
like, "What?" And then I open up the door and he was like, "Excuse me, sir. Is that your music playing back there?" And I was like, Yeah.
That's a good one. You like this one?
And I was like, and he was like, "I'm telling you, I can hear it from a couple of streets over here. I was in the cul-de-sac. I could hear it clear, and I could hear the bass." And I was like, "Man, it sounds pretty fucking good, right?" Like,
so it's an upright.
He was like,
"It's my Bose tower."
"If I hear it again, I'm gonna have to give you a ticket." But man, my kids were so scared. But I was like, I was happy that the cop was like, it was crystal
so clear.
I could hear
caught it too.
words, and I was like, I thought the fucking sound quality on this buy too was a very good purchase.
It was a solid purchase.
And I was like, yeah, dude. I had it, didn't even have it cranked up all the way, and I was like, the bass was nice, the highs were good.
Yeah.
So thank you, Mr.
Both
Officer.
highs. Yours
I think
and
it
the
was
speaker.
Officer Valdez. Don't know your badge number, but appreciate you, dog.
Was it on the warning?
Thanks for the. He gave me a warning, but to me, it was like a gold star.
It's like 3
It's like on my way to getting to choose a prize at the end of the day.
All the way to the corner on the right, because I got a few of those.
Es un complemente.
Yeah.
At any rate, yes, I gotta go do some fucking nonprofit shit.
Okay.
But
good.
I'll cut this down.
Yeah.
And then we'll put it out there to the world. Okay, boss.
Okay.
Now, can I have a restroom? Hey, boss, can I have a restroom break?
No.
You just gonna make me do all this, boss?
No.
This is how it is working, dude.
You can have a safety meeting.
Day in the life at Ramblin' Gypsy, dude, is fucking whip cracking and
It's not.
I don't know.
We laugh. We have a good
Starving.
time. It's fun.
Starving me of my thoughts. What are
just your thoughts?
Yeah. All right, we'll see y'all. I don't know when I'll see y'all, but somebody will see y'all. She'll see you.
I'll be here.
You'll see her next week.
Yeah.
And I'll be behind the camera, probably talking shit.
It's a good time. Everybody has their assigned seating. A return to their assigned seating.
Right.
I love you.
I love you too.
I work them profits, the non-ones, and the other ones.
That's it. Fucking story of my life. The only profits I work are the non-ones.
At least you didn't say it was the sheets.
I could give a sheet.
I give a sheet.
Oh my God.
With the fook.
The last joke on this, my friend,
Go.
like 6'5", His girl's like 5'6".
That's adorable.
He was the one I was popping the sheet jokes with.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, man.
Did you have to look up?
He's like, you know, Larissa and I, when we're sleeping at night.
Bottom sheet.
When we're sleeping at night, you know, we sleep in a normal sized bed, and so we've got normal sized bedding, but she'll roll over at night, and it goes with her, and I'm like, come here, you little sheep. We'll talk to y'all next week.
I'll see y'all. Have fun.
Peace.
That was so good. Come here, you little sheep.
Come here, you little sheep.
I wish I knew where my shirt was.
Good sheep.
See me dripping in it 24/7 on it. I'm just being honest. Holy water dripping from my neck to my crepes, so I'm two-stepping on it like.